What up, what up? It's Ace OG. Back into the top, back into the video. So the title of this video is going to be change your mindset in order to build wealth. So admin notes, thanks again, subscribe to the channel. I endeavor to keep pushing the video out, give you leverage, you better yourselves. So let's get into it. So change your mindset in order to build wealth. So I'm making this video because I know we have some new content creators out there on YouTube. And a lot of folks come on YouTube for just to share their lives, share products, to talk about stuff, to vlog, but also to build wealth, right, to make money. So I definitely understand that, but one thing I heard from somebody a long time ago, in life, a lot of times when it comes to wealth, it's not how much you make, it's how much you can keep. And I'll throw in there how much you can invest, right? Because the money could come in your hand and then all of a sudden it's just gone, right? And you don't know what happened to it. So we have to change our mindset, because I can keep giving somebody some money, but if their mindset don't change about money, it's never going to work. You got some folks that they may have made $30,000 a year at one point. They get a raise, they might go to 50, and they're like, okay, I made 50,000 a year now. Life is going to change. And you talk to them again 6 months later, and they right back in the rut they was in before. And you're like, logically you're thinking like, this person has an extra 20,000 to work with. How in the world are they still broke, right? And it's the mindset. It's just like they don't understand how money works. They don't understand, the concept of money. None of that. So we have to really change our mindset. Now let me go into some story time and tell you guys a situation happened with me a long time ago. Well, I guess it hasn't been that long, but long enough, right? Long enough for me not to want to be in that space ever again, right? So, 2008. So we all know 2008. Well, at least folks that were adults during that time. That was the Great Recession in the United States, right? So the housing market dropped, meaning that it basically blew up in everybody's face, and foreclosure was at an all-time high, inflation went crazy. At the time, I was stationed in Georgia, in Augusta, to be specific. And I remember going to the gas station one day when this was going on, and gas was $4.50 a gallon for gas. Now, put that in perspective, right? You know what I'm saying? Now, if we see $4.50 now, in 2024, it still is kind of rough, but I guess some folks can kind of still navigate that, right? But we're talking 2008 in Georgia, in the South, and we're paying $4.50. Like, that literally broke folks. You know what I'm saying? Like, folks was really hurting during that time. And I came back from Kuwait and mismanaged money, didn't know how money worked. I was in the Army during this time, right? So I'm getting a steady paycheck. I don't have the threat of losing a job during this time like everybody else did. But I still was in severe debt. Had a lot of things going on, and shout out to my wife once again. Like, she really rolled with somebody when it came to that, because I was not being the person I needed to be for her as far as being a husband and just being a provider. I just was not there during that time, right? So I'm trying to navigate this thing called money, called finance, but I'm broke as I don't know what. Like, I'm hurting. I really am. In the meantime, I'm still a soldier. I'm still going out there doing things. I'm excelling. What I got going on in the military. I wound up going to school. Wound up winning the leadership award out of 22 other soldiers. I get hand selected to be a general's driver. The officer was a 1-star general. I was driving for her. I'm getting all the accolades in the Army. I'm getting awards. I'm getting all these things. And I'm coming home every other month to an eviction notice because I can barely pay my rent. That's one thing you got to understand about folks, y'all. Like, when you see people in the media, or you just see people in the streets, you don't know what the hell they got going on. You know what I'm saying? You can see somebody and they could be considered a stellar person to you, like a person that's a real stand-up person. I'm not saying they're not, but you cannot tell what somebody is going through by just looking at them. Like, and anybody that came to me while I'm in uniform talking to me would have never thought in a million years that I was going through this financial struggle, right? And that lasted like almost 3 years that I was like that. Like it was crazy. I completely destroyed my credit. And the job that I had in the military required me to have good credit, so I almost got put out the Army during this time. It was crazy. So once I really navigated that thing, I actually started to like really learn about money and how to to not put myself in a situation like that again. I promised myself that I would never, at the very least, never intentionally put myself in that situation again, right? I changed my mindset about money. And I learned about money. I taught myself about money. I took courses. I talked to people. You know what I'm saying? Like I talked to this one officer that was in my unit. He was a lieutenant colonel. That's an 05 in the Army. And long story short, with him, I was sitting there talking to him one day, and he said that he had not spent his money like, how do you say it? He said, so of course he made captain before he made lieutenant colonel. And he said he had not spent his major money or his lieutenant colonel money, meaning that what he did was he lived as if he was still a captain. Now he'd have made 2 ranks since that time. And he said he literally didn't spend his extra money, extra pay he got. So when he made major, all his major pay went in the bank or in savings or in some type of investment. When he made lieutenant colonel, the extra money he made for that, he put it in investment and saved it. And he had a wife and 4 kids, and he still lived as if he was a captain. Now, mind you, he had made captain over 10 years before this time I talked to him. So he had lived with captain pay for a whole 10 years. Now, I'm not exactly sure how much money he saved during that time, but you best believe that he was really close to probably about $500,000 by that time. With the investments and him being able to save that money, like he was in a good position. This is 2009 when I talked to him. So that means that he was pretty much almost close to being a millionaire during the recession. The recession, it didn't affect him, right? Because he put himself in a good position. And with this YouTube thing that's going on right now, where folks are able to get on YouTube and not put out extravagant thumbnails and not having to do a whole bunch of editing, those other things, this is the perfect time, this is the prime time for you to get up here and start building wealth for yourself. And wealth doesn't have to be monetary. Wealth can be connections you make while you're on YouTube. Connections can be just making a video that provides so much utility that it's being seen 10 years from now, 15 years from now. Like I said before, not everybody is cut out for this. Like, you've got a lot of folks out there that don't like being on the camera. They don't like to expose their lives. That's totally fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying anything negative about anybody that is not on board with that. But if you have a charismatic personality, if you have a personality that gravitates folks to you, right? There's the YouTube space right now is the space you need to be in right now. I'm telling you, there is a huge bag in YouTube right now. It really is. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to do but so much. I did make a video saying YouTube is in easy mode. What I mean by easy mode is that, you don't have to do a whole bunch of things on YouTube in order to be a YouTuber, right? That's what I mean by that. Now, as far as like putting in the work, that's not easy. You do have to put some work in. You have to do some homework. You still have to, you have to be on your grind all the time when it comes to YouTube. I totally get that. But the way to get into the door is easier now, right? So I'm telling you, I encourage everybody that's watching this video right now that if you have a sense of urgency when it comes to you building wealth, YouTube might be a route for you. It really can be. And but at the same time, you got to change your mindset. You got to learn about money. You got to do that. You have to learn about money. I'm telling you, I don't care how much money you make on YouTube. If you don't learn how money works, it's not gonna do you any good. It's gonna be just throwaway. It's gonna be just throwaway paper. It's not gonna be worth anything to you. So you gotta think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like how did folks survive before paper money was invented? Right? They traded resources, right? They traded goods, all these other things. I can take a dollar bill right now out of my pocket and I can rip it a little bit. It doesn't change the value of it. I can burn it. It doesn't change the value of it. I can step on it, ball it up, all these other things does not change the value of it. It stays the same. Why? Because people believe in it. Which means you need to believe in yourself, you need to believe in YouTube. So anyway, not a belabor the topic, but you gotta change your mind state and your mindset about how money works. You really do. You got a lot of folks that are going to come up here on YouTube, and they don't have a mindset, a good mindset when it comes to money. They have a broke mindset. And I don't care how much money you make, y'all. I don't care how much money you make. If you got a broke mindset, or you don't have any knowledge about how money works, that money is useless to you. It's useless. How many celebrities and how many athletes you've seen that made millions of dollars over the time they were actually doing their thing, and now they're dead broke. They're working at McDonald's. Like, it's not, and you're sitting here thinking, like, how in the hell could it happen? I know exactly how it happened. They didn't learn about money. Anyways, like I said, not to belabor the topic, but drop some comments in the comments section below. Let me know what you guys think about this. Like I said, do your own research, learn about money. You know, so if you got to pay somebody to teach you how money works, do that. I'm all about, you know, putting out funds to learn something. I do understand the economy is kind of crazy right now, so you might not be able to pay too much. You know what I'm saying? But YouTube can be an academy for you as well. You can actually research things on YouTube and learn about money. Really, it's free education. It really is. So learn about money. Change your mindset before you start doing this thing, because if you don't, then you're gonna wind up being broke, and what you did is gonna be all for nothing. All right. So we're gonna discuss the topic or subject name benefits to your channel. Email at acetheog757@gmail.com. My email address is in the description below. Say so, G. Signing out. I'm gone.